If you're a big swim team and you like to order a lot of gear, maybe you ought to check out Swim Outlet Team Division for these reasons. Swim teams receive a 10% discount on bulk orders. Swim teams or organizations get an 8% commission on referred sales. You'll also like their customization services, which is affordable and available at all times during the year for all team gear. With over 50,000 items in stock, you can get most anything you want. Swim Outlet Team Division. You need to try it out. You'll be glad you did.
This is the Morning Swim Show for Thursday, October 24th, 2013. I'm your host, Jeff Cummings. One of the most talked about college meets that took place last weekend was the Utah versus Arizona men's dual meet in Salt Lake City. The Utes stayed close in the scores throughout the meet and managed to pull off an upset, beating Arizona 152 to 148. And joining me today in the Finis Monitor is Utah head coach Joe Dykstra, who's calling in from his office in Salt Lake City. Coach, it's good to see you. How are you today?
I'm doing very well. Thanks for having me.
Well, you know how to start a season. I mean, and not only that, your first dual meet as coach at Utah, and you beat Arizona. That had to be a great feeling.
It was. It was really an exciting moment for our program. We were excited. We had a packed house of fans, so the energy in the building was tremendous. And I think it was great the way our guys stepped up. We were really tired coming into that meet. We had trained in Hawaii the whole week prior, flown back on a red-eye Thursday night, got in Friday morning. So to get up Saturday morning and, swim as well as we did, which the times aren't great up here in our pool at this altitude, but I think the effort and the performances were unbelievable.
On paper, as most coaches do, you probably mapped out how close it was going to be. What, obviously, in terms of figuring out what events your swimmers need to swim in order to keep the meet close. How close did you think the meet was going to be before it started?
You know, we were actually on the plane back from our fall camp in Hawaii, and I was penciling out our lineup, and I thought, we can really be in this meet. This can be a very close meet. I just looked at the matchups. We have, obviously in a dual meet, you've got to win events in order to win the meet. And we have a couple of really big-time frontline swimmers, Nick Siddell in the sprints, Christian Krohn in the back in the IM, Bense Karali in anything 200 and over, as well as Josiah Purse on the diving side. Those guys are tough to beat among anybody in the country. So I thought, if we can win enough events and manage to take one of the relays, we got a real shot at this thing.
All right, that 400 freestyle relay where you realized that you had to win in order to win the meet. I'm sure you had those four guys in a huddle. What did you tell them that they needed to do?
Well, we actually had the 8 guys in a huddle, the A and B relay, because if we would have gone first and fourth, the meet would have ended in a tie. So we knew we needed first and third. We didn't change the lineup at all. We left the relays as they were. We felt good going into them because we had almost our 4 best guys up on the A relay. And they were ready to go. Nick Siddell, he went off 44.5, I believe, on the leadoff, and then our second leg was 45.3. So we were well out in front, and that was a great way to start that, and the A team just felt good. But what was so exciting was the B team battling for that third place and ended up almost beating the Arizona A team. And the building was going nuts over the B's relay. And those guys, they weren't putting up their best times, but they were sure putting up their best efforts. And I told them it was, the swims of their lives to secure the win for us.
College dual meets don't really get a lot of attendance, so I would imagine everybody, not just you, were surprised by the fact that, it was a packed house and everybody was coming to watch this.
Yeah, we've got a new marketing team here at Utah that's specifically just working on the Olympic sports, and they're doing an amazing job at driving attendance, community involvement. I mean, we had a kids' fun zone outside of the pool. They're doing a great job. They've got special promotions and giveaways at all of our home meets. They're doing a wonderful job bringing fans to our program, which is really exciting.
Yeah, that's great that they're doing that because it's not easy to get the public interested in a sport that's not football or basketball as far as college sports is concerned.
Absolutely.
Well, how did the success that the men were having spill over into the women's meet?
The women, the score was kind of a blowout on the women's side. But it wasn't a blowout in terms of races. We were in a lot of very close races. We just continued to get touched out over and over and over. We had one of our top girls go down with injury during the meet. So that hurt us a little bit. But I was proud of the fight that the girls showed against a stacked Arizona women's team. They held their own, even though the score doesn't indicate it. I was proud of their efforts. We had a great meet a couple weeks ago with the women at Oregon State, performed really well there. And we've got another tough one with the women this Friday against Boise State.
Tell us, what was workout like on Monday? I mean, obviously, I'm sure these kids probably had a nice little celebration to really, and they probably soaked in all the experience, but what was it like for you as a coach and the team to come back and have their first practice after this big dual meet?
Well, I think, and we talked about this after the meet, you know, this was a dual meet win in October. They don't award you the national championship for winning a dual meet in October. You know, none of the times from either team were all that spectacular. It was just a great close-fought meet, and we talked about how we've got to continue to get better every single day, every single week. You know, the way we performed on Saturday was good enough for that men's meet win, but it's not going to be good enough, you know, at Pac-12s. It's not going to be good enough at our midseason meets. It's not going to be good enough at NCAAs. So we've got to keep going to work, doing the little things right, and working to improve every day and focusing on the process. That's a big deal with us, to really focus on the process of training and how we get better each and every day.
Yeah, I'm sure you were probably, though, in the back of your mind wishing that this was like college basketball, where a dual meet win would kind of help the selection committee consider you a little bit more to get into the NCAAs. But I guess that's the best part about swimming, is that, you know, the individuals know that they have to really put forth that great effort at the end of the season. That's what really matters.
Yeah, absolutely. And our team understands that completely. And, you know, we did not back down our training one minute for that dual meet, and we won't for any dual meet. We're focused on the results at the big meets when it counts, and getting a big contingent to NCAAs this year.
Well, I want to go back to this this fall training camp you guys had in Hawaii. It's a little bit unusual. Everybody usually does their training camps during the holiday season, into December and whatnot. Why did you guys decide to do it in the fall?
This year, the academic calendar is a little quirky, with Thanksgiving being so late, almost in December. Our winter break is actually compressed to only 2 weeks. Normally it's 3. But this year just happens to be the academic calendar only allowed 2 weeks off in the winter, which doesn't leave a lot of time for us to let all the athletes go home and be with their families, as well as do a training camp. We do, however, have a fall break in October where there's a week with no school. So we decided this year to try something new and take that as an opportunity to get out of town and really get some great team building and some tremendous training in out in Hawaii for that week. And I think it was really good for our team, and it's really going to pay dividends for us when we go to the Mizzou Invite, and we'll take a group to Short Course Nationals as well.
Well, this is, as I said, your first season as coach in Utah. Have you kind of felt like you understand all the swimmers there, understand the atmosphere and the culture in Salt Lake City?
Yeah, we're certainly getting there. I think it's come along very well with the team so far. They've been really excited and open about my ideas to coaching and training and team building, and have really embraced that, which is wonderful. Always when you're coming in new someplace, you have those concerns about how it's going to be in the transition, but it's been as smooth and seamless as I could have hoped for, and I think we've really got things going the right way. There's a lot of tradition and history of Utah swimming. I mean, in our pool, they hosted NCAAs back in the late 60s. There's been a lot of great swimming that's happened here at the U, and we're excited to, you know, respect and embrace those traditions and the legacy of the past, but really build upon that now in the Pac-12 conference and take this team to a new level of success where we're perennially in the top 15 nationally and can place in the top 4 at Pac-12s.
Yeah, that's true. That's going to be a big goal of yours. You mentioned the Boise State meet that the women have on Friday. Also, the men are swimming against Mesa State. You know, I guess the bar has been raised. I mean, you guys, you know how to start a season, as I said. I mean, you come in and race somebody like Arizona, who got third in NCAAs last year, and, you know, Mesa State's obviously not at the same level, but how do you keep these guys excited about going into this meet with the same excitement they had for Arizona?
You know, I think with the men's side, Mesa State's a solid Division II program, and they're a regional rival here. So it's, you know, a lot of our swimmers that are from the region, the Mountain States region, know a lot of swimmers on their team. So that always adds a little element of excitement. Plus, we're going to get the opportunity to have a lot of our guys swim an event that they normally wouldn't do when we have to go with our absolute #1 lineup. We're not going to get totally wacky, but we're going to, get guys in their third and fourth races and really work to develop those skills because they will race those events at midseason and maybe at Pac-12s or NCAA. So to get an opportunity to swim maybe your third race is really important in the training for the whole season.
And I understand this is also going to be meet where probably it's where the marketing department's really going to come in. It's a meet that your swimmers are going to wear pink for breast cancer awareness.
Yes.
It's a great thing you guys are doing.
Absolutely, and we're really excited about it. My mother and my sister are both breast cancer survivors, so it means a lot to me that we're able to do this. And I have to thank Speedo for their generosity in providing T-shirts and caps and everything, and our marketing department for providing items for the fans to really get out breast cancer awareness this month.
Yeah, that is great. Well, Coach, before we let you go, it's time for our final 5. These are 5 questions we ask all of our guests to get to know them a little bit better, get a little bit more to your head.
Okay.
First question is, if you could change the order of strokes in the individual medley, how would you change it?
Oh, gosh. I would probably put breaststroke first because I was an IMer and I really struggled at breaststroke. So I'd put that first so I could swim it while I was fresh.
What's a career other than coaching you would like to try?
I would really like to stay in education. If I wasn't a coach, I think I would get into education. I really like the rewarding feeling of helping people to learn and grow and better themselves. There's nothing more rewarding in this world.
And what's a career you would not like to try?
Oh gosh, probably something where I'm sitting in a cubicle. I can't imagine that.
Yeah, a lot of coaches tend to be saying that. If you could change or add any of the rules in the swimming rule book, what would it be?
Well, that's a good one. I would add the 100 IM to the NCAA championships as an event. I think it would be the most exciting event in swimming. It would be pretty crazy to see how fast people could go actually racing 100 IM. I think that would be a great addition.
Wow, that's very interesting too. All right, last question there for you, Joe. Where do you like to go most for vacation?
I'm a kind of an explorer. I like to globetrot a little bit whenever I can. You don't get a lot of time as a swim coach, but I try to get to new places all the time. I have yet to get to anywhere in Asia or Africa, so those are my next 2 big goals in terms of my own personal travel.
Well, I've been to South Africa. I highly recommend that for you.
Yeah.
Well, Coach, thanks so much for joining us. Congratulations on the great dual meet against Arizona, and we're looking forward to seeing how you guys do this weekend and throughout the season.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right, our pleasure. All right, and our thanks to you for joining us on today's edition of the Morning Swim Show. Our college news channel on swimmingworld.com is where you can find the latest news in college swimming in the United States. And while you're at swimmingworld.com, be sure to stay in tune with all the other swimming news going on around the world. I'm Jeff Cummings. Thanks for watching.